For more than 40 For more than 40 years, I worked in emergency rooms, clinics, and long-term care facilities. And during that time, I witnessed the final days of more people than I can even remember now. On some nights, I sat quietly beside a bed watching someone's breathing slowly fade. And on other days, I had to deliver devastating news to families. And as the years passed, one question kept returning to my mind more often. How many of these people truly had to die at that moment? At first, I thought it was fate, genetics, or simple bad luck. But over time, I realized that many deaths were actually the result of small, seemingly harmless daily habits, accumulating over years. Even in the late 1970s, when I first began working, I noticed that some patients declined much faster than others, even when they were the same age. One still able to walk and move around while another could barely climb stairs. And it didn't take long to understand that illness alone couldn't explain the difference. Now, as someone approaching 100 years of age, I can say that I have spent most of my life standing at the thin line between life and death. And what I'm telling you comes not from books but from realities I witnessed again and again. Most people don't realize that the things shortening their lives are not dramatic events, but ordinary habits. And right now, even while you are reading this, you might be continuing some of those habits yourself. The first major truth I learned was that inactivity damages the human body far faster than people assume, especially those who spend most of their day sitting at desks begin to experience serious health problems earlier as they age. In the 1980s, when I began comparing patients from different professions, it became clear that people who stayed on their feet or moved throughout the day had better circulation, stronger muscles, and healthier hearts, while those who remained seated for hours developed back pain, weight gain, high blood pressure, and heart problems much earlier. The human body is designed to move, and when we remain inactive for long periods, circulation slows, muscles weaken, joints stiffen, and metabolism suffers. And after the age of 60, this process accelerates because the body can no longer recover as quickly as before. I once had a retired teacher who walked every morning, but then spent the rest of the day watching television. He believed his exercise kept him safe, yet 10 hours of daily inactivity still harmed his heart, and he suffered a fatal heart attack at 72. That was when I fully understood that a short workout cannot cancel out long hours of stillness. What truly matters is staying active throughout the day. The second major issue was sleep. Many people proudly claim they sleep very little, but the body and brain repair themselves during sleep, and deep sleep stages are essential for memory, immunity, and hormonal balance. Over the years, I observed that patients who slept well maintained their mental sharpness longer, while those suffering from chronic sleep problems developed memory and concentration issues earlier. Even worse than short sleep is broken sleep, because waking repeatedly during the night prevents the body from reaching the deep restorative stages it needs. Many people don't even realize how often they wake up, yet the exhaustion they feel each morning is not simply aging, but the result of poor sleep quality. The third major issue, often underestimated, is loneliness after retirement. Many people gradually lose social connections and end up living in increasing isolation without even noticing it. Throughout my career, I saw physically healthy individuals living alone decline faster than patients with serious illnesses who had strong family and social ties. Loneliness creates chronic stress, raises stress hormones, weakens the immune system, and keeps the body in a constant state of alert, affecting nearly every organ. Some elderly patients went days without speaking to anyone, slowly disconnecting from life itself, while just a few meaningful conversations each week can greatly improve a person's vitality. The fourth issue concerns nutrition. For many years, people were advised to avoid fats and consume more carbohydrates. But as we age, metabolism changes, and processed carbohydrates increasingly disrupt blood sugar levels and promote inflammation. When I changed my own eating habits in my 60s, reducing processed foods and focusing on vegetables, proteins, and healthy fats, my energy improved and my health markers stabilized within months. Yet many patients resisted changing their diets and later returned with diabetes or heart disease when it was already too late. Finally, there is constant worry. Some people spend much of their lives anxious about things they cannot control, and this ongoing stress slowly wears down their bodies. I saw many retirees who were financially secure and surrounded by family, yet still lived in constant worry, and over time this stress harmed their sleep, heart health, and immune systems. Let me share something personal. I lost my spouse 8 years ago after nearly 60 years together. Knee pain kept them inactive, sleep problems went unaddressed, favorite foods were never given up, and there was constant worry about family. They lived to 93, but the final years were marked by declining mobility and independence. Life was still there, but the feeling of truly living was fading. With earlier changes, perhaps those years could have been stronger and more fulfilling. As for me, I still live on my own, walk every day, cook my meals, read books, and stay connected with my grandchildren. I am not special. I simply changed some habits in time. Every day you are also making small choices, and those choices will shape the life you live years from now. You don't have to change everything at once. Maybe today you start moving more, improve your sleep, call a friend you haven't spoken to in years, or adjust your diet slightly. After witnessing the final moments of thousands of people, I can say with certainty that many of them could have lived longer and better lives, but waited too long to change. You, however, are still here, and you still have time to choose differently. The real question is, what kind of life will you decide to live from this point forward? And now, after all of this has been said, one simple but powerful truth remains. Time is not as abundant as we think, yet most of us live as if it is. Days begin to look the same, mornings turn into evenings, weeks become months, and before we realize it, years have slipped behind us. Many people only recognize the turning points of their lives when it is already too late to change what they wish they had done differently. Yet real change does not begin with massive decisions, but with small and consistent steps. Moving a little more today, going to bed a bit earlier tonight, calling someone you haven't spoken to in a long time, preparing a better meal for yourself, or clearing your mind of unnecessary worries. Even a little may seem minor, But years later, these are exactly the choices that shape the direction of your life. Remember, no one wakes up suddenly, old one morning. Aging happens through the small decisions repeated day after day. In the same way, a healthier, more energetic, and more meaningful life is not created overnight. It is built through the choices you make every day. Maybe you can't change everything today, but you can change one thing, and often all it takes is the first step in the right direction. In the end, life is not defined only by how long we live, but by how we live. The years in which you can move freely, laugh easily, talk with the people you love, and take care of yourself are the real reward. Spending the final years merely breathing without truly living is not a gift to anyone. That is why the choices you make today determine the kind of aging you will experience in the future. Perhaps this is the moment to pause and ask yourself, how do I want the years ahead of me to unfold? With exhaustion and regret, wishing I had started earlier, or with gratitude, saying I'm glad I began when I did. You are still here. You can still decide. You can still change direction. And you still possess something many people no longer have: time. So don't let today pass without intention. Make a change, even a small one, because years from now, when you look back, you may realize that what transformed your life was not a grand miracle, but a small decision you made today. And perhaps one day, when you look back, you will be able to say, I'm glad I started in time.